welcome to the sort of DFS soccer recap, is what I named it, and I still can't remember. My name's Alex Hooper. I play DFS soccer. I belong to the fine group over at FSI, Fantasy Sports Insights. That's where I get all my info. We have a great chat over there, and I wouldn't be here without them. But I'm really just another dude playing DFS soccer. I thought there would be an outlet for this. Thought there would be a market for this. So I just wanted to talk about what happened this weekend in Premier League DFS soccer. So again, I'm Alex Hooper. I'm joined by my buddy, Tom Stoss, my longtime roommate, longtime best friend, who, Tom, you've not played DFS anything until this weekend?
Yeah, so long story short, I needed an extra source of income. And my friend Alex here has been talking it up for a long time. So just it's a great way to get a couple bucks flowing and, hopefully a little bit more than a couple bucks. But yeah, getting a fresh start, learning, and enjoyed it so far. Really liked it a lot. At least that last weekend, it went well.
So you started with a small. What was your percent ROI on weekend one? Did you break even on Saturday and then you profit a little bit Sunday?
Yeah, broke even on Saturday, and I think I doubled up on whatever I put in on Sunday. So.
And you're just playing cash games at this point, right? Just double ups?
Yeah, getting used to getting a feel for everything.
That's smart. Most people see the DraftKings commercials and they're like, you can win $1 million if they said 1,000, no one would play. But you can win $1 million, and they hop on there and they play a Millie Maker NFL tournament and try to get the guys right and don't. And even if they do, they maybe double their money. So probably playing in double up is the way to go. But I may have tipped you off on that and given me some hints this weekend. So we're starting.
Listen to this guy. He knows what he's doing.
Listen, I only know if you're watching this, you've watched Gator Guy at some point, and that's how I got. That's the only reason I know anything, and on a day-to-day basis, that's the only reason I know anything. So we're not affiliated with FSI. I just pay them to help me do this, but you should probably check it out, and I'll get you over there one of these days, buddy. When you get rolling, but
once I got the know-how. So I can hang with the big dogs.
Something like that. I was a fish when I got there. I still might be. I don't know. I've just won a couple of bucks. But okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to run down what happened over the weekend. We're going to talk DFS. We're going to talk who was where, what the winning lineups look like, and just mostly talk soccer. We're not going to talk all DFS because you see the hat that I'm wearing, so we obviously have to talk about crippling sadness, and that's going to come at some point anyway. But so let's start with Saturday. We're going to try to cover the slates that have GPPs with 5-digit prize pools. So we're going to start with just the big classic slate on Saturday. We're going to touch on the Spurs showdown on Sunday. I think that was the only big contest that happened as far as prize pools go. So we'll touch on that, and we won't be happy about it, but we'll do it anyway. So let's roll this out there. I'm going to try and share my screen with everybody. We'll take a look at some of the top lineups. Actually, we're not going to look at a top lineup to start. We're going to look at my lineup. One of 3 lineups I had in the $35,000 counter attack. This was actually the 3rd lineup I put in, if you see. The other 2 did not cash. So if I didn't play this one, I would have been just down. So just looking at it, I mean, technically was a Chelsea stack, but it's not like I played Kepa in goal. I really had a good feeling about Kai this weekend, Kai Havertz. He's been playing through the middle and having more success that way. He had more success that way with Germany. And then I want to say the Carabao Cup is where he scored his hat trick, was up through the middle. So I wanted to play him there. I knew everyone was going to play Timo Werner. I actually generally try to avoid him because the ownership is so high. I don't think he's that great. He has shown so much for RB Leipzig and just hadn't gotten going for Chelsea yet. But after this weekend, I think I'm cool. I think I can go back to Timo Werner. So He popped 2 goals, whatever. So you're looking at my lineup. It's pretty much a cash lineup. If you're in a cash game, you're going to play Bruno. You're going to play Riyad Mahrez. As you can see, 43% ownership on Werner in the big GPP. So he was essentially a cash piece. I said I liked Havertz. I thought Southampton would get shut out. I thought there was a chance. I didn't want to pay all the way up for Chilwell here because I couldn't. And I got Azpilicueta, and he put up 1 DK. So if you didn't have Chilwell, you were pretty Chilwell screwed. This looked similar to your lineup, correct? Again, because I was giving you a couple hints, so you had Fernandes and Mahrez, I guess?
Yeah. Should I get in the rest, or do you want to keep going over?
Yeah, let it fly, man.
Yeah, well, I had a wrong sort of impulse about Aguero, but so I had him instead of Timo, which the difference there was almost 30 points between them. So maybe Sergio will warm up at some point, but that was.
It's his first match back, but so what you did was probably the right move. I mean, Aguero was so much cheaper. They're both goal dependent, so Timo's got a decent shot floor, but I think in general, Aguero is going to have the same sort of shot floor. Do you know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah.
So just a floor from putting shots on goal. I mean, he's going to get the ball filtered into him so many times and perhaps more than Werner will, because Werner, I mean, there's so many different pieces that they're trying to work in there. So I don't think you got it wrong. It's just process over result. I think you did the right thing. And if you're playing cash too, I mean, similar guy, $2,800 cheaper, 25.
Yeah.
And then you had Ben Chilwell, did you not?
Yeah, that was a big difference. I think that let me get Chilwell, which, as you know, that was a good pickup. I took a chance on Foden too, which it could have been worse. And I guess the idea with all the City guys, I figured there'd be a lot of feeding the ball to each other and whatnot there.
One of the tough things with City too is we always call it City roulette. Is they've got so many pieces, man. Trying to, if you play a showdown, say you max a showdown, if you want to just play 20 lineups in the quarter, there are so many different combinations that are all realistic. And if they drop 5-0 on someone, you can grab 4 goals and still double your money. You have to get it on the head. So anytime you're playing with City, it's like that. So, was there anything in particular you liked about Foden?
I mean, in that match, it was a little above average. I liked how involved he is. He's always running around. I sound like a football coach, but he gets involved.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. In addition to being new to talking about this, I'm also new to describing soccer players as well.
That's fine. He was wide. And so that was a good. He was cheap and wide, and for City, if you want to get exposure to City pieces, that's probably the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
So again,
I know he's going to have you talk about that roulette, the City roulette. I know he's young and he seems to be establishing himself at least on the team. So I figure I can count on him. I don't know if I'm wrong about that, but I think he'll feature enough.
He's the heir to David Silva. He's got to be good as long as he's not shacking up with Icelandic women during a pandemic.
Who could say no? How could you?
Not Phil. Not Phil and not Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, that's right.
And you don't have to worry about them being your cousin there. He's from England. I don't think he had much to worry about. Neither of them did. All right, let's look at some of the top lineups from Saturday. I pulled this up. I left it up way too long last time. Let's start with Darren Garlick up top. Rashford, Ings, Mata, Foden. See, he got Foden. Foden was in the optimal lineup, so.
Okay, cool.
You were onto something.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, De Gea, Fernandes. So this is just a United stack, and I mean you get Juan Mata was cheap, Daniel James was cheap.
Yeah.
I think Mata he might have been on a few sets, so worth more. I believe he was in our core, if I remember correctly. At 4,000, I mean, you can't pass on a guy like that with that weird lineup United ran out there. I mean, Martial was out, no Greenwood. So it was bound to be a little weird, and there were some guys you were able to fit in. But, I mean, you got a goal out of Wan-Bissaka. You got a goal out of Harry Maguire. Didn't get the clean sheet out of De Gea, but then obviously Bruno and Rashford did what they did. And that was all late. I mean, I bet Darren Garlic here was way out of the money, or not, maybe not out of the money, but I don't think he was anywhere near.
Yeah, what Rashford was like the second, was his second or third goal?
It was late.
Yeah.
But I mean, he got it right. You get the goal from Danny Ings, which I don't know why I don't play him more, because he always scores. They're so dependent on him. If it's not James Ward-Prowse from a free kick, then Danny Ings is generally going to figure out a way to go. But so I mean, you get an assist from Mata. He already meets his price point there. Only 8% owned, which is in a GPP, man, like that. I'm surprised he wasn't higher owned. Yeah, and then you get 2 defender goals. So the reason this is probably up here, we'll look at the rest of them, but the reason the United stack is at the top as opposed to the Chelsea stack, or maybe someone did a 1, 2, 3 off Southampton stack where there's 3 goals on each side. The reason you get that here is because you get a 3.4% owned goal out of Maguire, and you get an 8% owned goal by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So naturally, a goal from Harry Maguire gives you the opportunity to jump 96.6% of the field. And that's what happened for our guy Darren Garlic. I keep trying to pronounce his name, but $10,000 richer thanks to Harry Maguire, which Harry Maguire can't say that as of recent. All right, let's move on down. Rashford, Werner, Hernandez, McTominay, Shaw. It's just a different kind of United stack. McTominay didn't do anything. Shaw didn't do anything, but you have Ben Chilwell in there. He did a lot that makes up for everything else. You have Werner in there and makes up for the Wan-Bissaka and Maguire goals. And then Leno makes his appearance. I think we'll see more of him in the top 5. But again, just United stack ruled the day. And again, U-Hauler 17, probably not in the top end of this GPP until right at the end, until United goes off. Yeah. Number 3, top 7, again. So this is just the split United Chelsea stack. Rashford, Fernandez, correlation there. Werner, Havertz, correlation there. You get the goal out of Maguire. You get the assist out of Chilwell. Leno, again, cheapest goalie on the slate. Made 4 saves, only gave up 1. That's positive. And then Victor Lindelof, it's a punt. You get a negative in the top 3 here. I can't say I've seen that often. I'm sure it happens plenty, but sometimes you can't overthink that last spot. You got to get the guys you want and then move on there. Number 4, Show Me the Chewy. Same sort of thing, augmented. Kind of United Chelsea stack. Chilwell, Maguire, Leno, same sort of thing. Maximin. Don't need to spend too much time in that. Jorginho appears in a top 5 lineup despite not doing the only thing he's worth, putting in a penalty kick. And then number 5, again, just it's United. It's just all United. So Rashford and Bruno, all 5 are in the top 5 lineups. Werner, Chilwell, and Leno in 4 of the top 5, and then Mata and Maguire, not even Wan-Bissaka, who put up a goal. Not even one of the pair in Mata and Maguire, who appeared 3 times. That was a really confusing way to say it. Aaron Wan-Bissaka showed up twice, in 1 and 2, which makes sense given his salary and the fact that he scored a goal, but just those 2. So United ruled the day. That's why they appear on the title card, which we haven't seen yet. But they are there for that reason. All right. Now I'm going to show everyone us again as I navigate back to Sunday. We got to talk about Sunday, which is going to go very much like Sunday did.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Yeah.
I got one question about
please. That's the thing. I want you to ask questions. Don't let me just ramble on. If you have a question, ask me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Carter Darlow, is he thumbs up, thumbs down? He did better than Leno. He cost more, and he gave up those 3 goals there at the end of that, but he brought in a good amount of points.
Do you have the ownerships pulled up? Does it?
What's that mean?
Does it show the same way? So yes, he's a good play. I want to say he was probably the most owned keeper on the slate, and for good reason.
He was about he was 48% at least in this contest. So yeah, I think people are probably pulling for him.
So let's talk goalies really quick, because that's one of the things that I think people get confused about the most when it comes to DFS is you get 10 points for a clean sheet. A clean sheet win, excuse me. Only 5, you get a 0-0 draw. Generally, the guys that's going to happen to are the high-end guys. It was De Gea, and then it was Lloris, which looked like a clean sheet. Somebody was betting on it for a while. There's a different path. There's a different path to a ton of points out of your keeper, and it's that Darlow path. It's facing a team like City and not giving up a ton of goals. Tim Howard against Belgium in the World Cup 2012? That would have been 2012? I don't remember dates anymore.
The World Cup? 2014, wasn't it?
2014, 20. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I was like 2 years out of college. So he put up like 16. I wish there was DFS that day because he would have broken the slate. He would put up about 30. I don't remember how many saves he got. I think he put 3 through to Brian Lukaku. Someone else? But he would have had just a buku slate, and that's probably the preferred way to get to where you want to go in DFS. You can't guarantee it because when I say keeper against City, you're like, oh boy, that's going to be fun. But if he makes the saves, you're glad you saved that money. You got Lino here, I think, because there were, 3-3, 4-1, 11 goals on the slate. Was it only the 2 games, or am I missing a game?
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Regardless, there were a lot of goals on the slate, so to catch the goals, you needed the lowest on the keeper.
Right.
And you can't get any lower than Lino unless you just punt their backup, who was just $100 less. So that's why you saw Lino here. But I think most days you would see a guy like Darlow up there, or if you got a low-owned keeper who got the clean sheet unexpectedly, like, say, Fabianski against Spurs, and Spurs don't score, and he's low-owned, stuff like that. But yes, that was a good move on Darlow. I think a lot of people went there, and I think that was the right thing to do. All right. You ready to talk about Saturday?
Let's do it.
Saturday was really fun for Sunday. We're talking about Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday was really fun for 80 minutes?
80, yeah.
So, Tom's a Spurs fan because I made you be.
Well, you had a little help. Delhi really wrote me in. I think that was. I looked at those Sun and Delhi's first season, right, 2015, and like between them and I like Harry Kane, of course, but I love Dele Alli, not so much his, but it wrote me right in. I loved them.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh.
So I chose to be a Spurs fan because a lot of people who were getting me into soccer, long story short, they liked Spurs. I started watching them. That was right when Poch got there, right when Harry started going. And then I think the second year I really followed closely was the year Delhi got there. And they were so exciting and everything. But like also I knew they were, Tom and I are both from Cleveland. I knew they were very similar to a Cleveland team based on their past. And boy, how that has proven so very true.
Yep. Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to say I have it in my blood at this point.
Yeah.
Just a little flash of glory. I love to see it.
Right. Yeah. All right. Let's just get it out of the way. Because very Spurs heavy, obviously. The first match on Sunday, Palace and Brighton, there's not going to be a lot of scoring. I believe they were both penalties.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I can't remember the second goal. I've done this already. I can't even remember who got the second goal. Some prep I did. But, so, here's my lineup. We'll just get into it. 3-3. The game stack is probably what's going to work. this is one of my lineups. I just ran a full Spurs stack. I didn't know that I fully believed in my hearts that they could bludgeon West Ham in a derby, but they did for 80 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to run Kane out there. I wanted to run Son out there. Toby was a cheap punt. He's great in the air. Sometimes he scores a goal. He did against Arsenal and won me some money as a punt. I thought maybe Hugo sees a lot of shots. Jose Mourinho teams filter in a lot of shots from top of the box, and Hugo can generally save all those, and he generally ends up positive. And he was for 80 minutes. And then I made a huge mistake. I went with Serge over Sergio Reguilon. We already talked about this and mispronouncing his name. Even though Sergio was in the core from Gator Guy, and I disobeyed my sensei and went for the more expensive guy, and of course Reguilon was outperformed Serge rather. Reguilon outperformed Serge, and then I threw in Davinson Sanchez, just like hoping for that clean sheet here. See, this is what happens when you sell out for the clean sheet. Would have got me 16. I still cashed with this lineup because if you had Kane and Son, you were probably going to cash.
Yeah.
Love Solly March. I liked him as a pivot off of Andros Townsend. That paid off for me, but I didn't love doing it. James MacArthur, negative. He was a punt. You'll see more of him here in a second. What did you run out there on Sunday?
I had Kane and Son. I had Bowen from West Ham who got me 8 points. Yeah.
He's a good. Originally, you wanted to start Antonio, correct?
Yeah.
So Bowen has been very frustrating this year, but
okay.
He's better floor play generally than Antonio, and I think I nudged you on that.
Yeah.
I want to just clarify, like, I don't know that Bowen's that much better this year. I don't know that Bowen's necessarily a cat. He'll probably get back to it, but I don't love him yet. I don't love him. And we'll see here in a second. There's one guy who used to be the lock for West Ham, as opposed to something like with Bowen taking all the sets and everything. There was one guy that used to be that guy who popped up in a lot of optimal lineups, and there's a reason for it. But go ahead.
This one was really just based on getting, affording Kane, Son, and Reguilon too, because I picked him up instead of
you did a much better job of pronouncing his name than I did.
Reguilon.
I like that. Go with that.
I gotta roll the R. No, but anyway, to make that price work, I mean, I got Alderweireld. He's really cheap. And then I don't even know who this guy is on West Ham. Benny Johnson. I don't know.
Benny Johnson. He's a good wing when he plays.
Is that really his name, Benny Johnson?
I think it is.
It is now. And then
I think it's Ben Johnson. You sold it. You sold it.
Sure. And then I
picked
up
played
Veltman
a few times, but I think I played him every time he started because he's like dirt cheap.
Yeah, he didn't play. He didn't play at all. And then they I guess it was Veltman for Brighton Hove Albion didn't play. So I was pulling, at goose eggs for both of them.
So you had Son and Kane and still cashed the two guys on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping a little bit?
Yeah. Alex was sending me tips all morning, and I woke up to them like, oh, this is very useful stuff.
I was up at 3 a.m. My dog has allergies and will not stop licking himself and scratching himself in the middle of the night. Woke me up at 3, so I checked my phone. I looked at I want to say it was Liga MX, some late night. Actually, I think it was late MLS that I checked and started thinking about DFS, and I stayed up. And I was ready for that Sheffield match in the morning, which we're not going to talk about because I went to Tilt City on that one. And then the results of the Spurs match sent me to Tilt City. So,
I didn't know I'd seen him get a couple clean sheets last year, and I kind of had hopes from this year. But Gaeta off Palace, I thought that he would put something together for that, but he was low, very low.
I generally love Gaeta. I'm sure I've bored you with baseball analytical statistics in the past, and I like guys who have high, or maybe it's low, a good expected goals minus goals allowed.
Okay.
Generally, it says they should have given up this many, but they've only given up this many. It's not a tell-all thing in soccer because there's so much more that goes into it. I don't love X goals. I don't love X assists in DFS. If I were judging a player, I would like him. But for goalies, that's where I use it. He's one. Gianluigi Donnarumma for AC Milan.
Oh, okay.
Steve Mandanda. He's French. I want to say he's still at Marseille, but he might have moved. Guys like that, I'll play them. If they're cheap, I'll play them every time because, like, I don't know what else to go on with the keeper.
Uh-huh.
I should tell you this now, and I probably have told you. Don't take the time to pay up for keepers. We already talked about, like, if it fits, do it. If you like them more than other guys, do it. But generally, it's just whatever fits because sometimes you get a Bernlino and you're like, thank God I spent everywhere else. And sometimes you get a Darlow where like he saved 11 shots and I didn't even pay up. Stuff like that. I just wouldn't even worry about it. But I do like Gaeta, long story short.
Yeah.
All right, you want to take a look at some of the top fives and then we can move on to the snooze fest that was today, Monday, is when we're recording this?
Yeah.
All right. So here's my crappy lineup again. I cashed. I'm not that mad. But let's look at Jorge D 0710.
Yep.
He cleared people by 13. He was 13 points ahead of second place.
Huh.
And there was one man in the middle who actually is Pablo Fornals there. I thought for a second it was Lanzini, but Lanzini came in as a sub. All right, so as we know, 3-3, Spurs leading 3-0, and then it was the onslaught. So he's got Kane and Son. We know that. He did the same thing with me with Solly March. He went Gaeta. See, again, you had the right keeper both times.
Yeah.
But he goes with two West Ham defenders. Not terribly correlative with his scores, but it doesn't matter because they both scored. Aaron Cresswell, who was that guy I was talking about instead of Bowen, he used to be that guy for West Ham. And he used to take all the sets. But he's popping off assists. He's putting, I want to say, put a shot on goal at the end. And, I mean, 21 points. That was what we were used to seeing out of Aaron Cresswell. So that was beautiful. And then Balbuena, just the header off the corner. 10% owned. I can't believe he was 10% owned. He's 2,800. Like, that's not even. Webster was cheaper than him, and he was 25% owned. But, like, Balbuena wasn't even a guy necessarily where we were like, yeah, he's cheap, and I kind of like what he can do. He just scored. I don't think Jorge popped him in his lineup thinking, I think I might steal one here. But, of course, he did. And then, again, just Fornals did enough. That was all you needed. But, I mean, again, he cleared everyone. If Balbuena put up a 0, he still would have won? Is that what I'm saying? 12-7-4. Yeah. I think about. Very close.
Yeah,
I think he would have cleared by like 0.16 points. He still would have won.
Yeah.
So, hey, rock on, Jorge. Enjoy your $3,000. That's not bad. All right, moving on.
Oh, I feel like Jorge bet for and against Spurs at the same time there.
Hey.
Good call. Great call.
Yeah. That's one hell of a hedge.
Yeah.
If you can hedge that way. All right, number 2, great dancer. Congratulations on your dancing and your money. Kane and Son. The MacArthur throwaway. Cresswell. Reguilon. Hey, look, it's Balbuena again. And Gaeta. And Michi Betts. Again, basically, if you had Kane, Son, Cresswell, and Balbuena, like, you were at the top of this thing. I mean, Gaeta did nothing. MacArthur wiped out Gaeta and then some. So you have a net negative on 2 of your guys. Reguilon was great with the assist, and Batshuayi did nothing. So there's not really a ton to break down here. Kane, Zaha, Son, Lallana, Reguilon, Alderweireld, Lloris, and there's our guy Balbuena again. You just had to have this one doesn't even have Cresswell, and he's still top 3. It's just if you had Balbuena and Kane and Son. I would guess that there weren't a whole lot of people who had that because, I mean, I can't believe Zaha up here with 1668 only put you in 3rd. Like, there was nothing really from anyone else that you could fit with those 2 guys up top. Kane, Son, Højbjerg, MacArthur, Region, Balbuena, Lloris, Cresswell, same guys. And number 5, you get Trossard in there, White, Matt Ryan at -3. His name's Matt, right? Thank God. I was really worried I was throwing off another name there. But so essentially, there's punts aplenty here. On Sunday, you got Son, Kane, and Balbuena were in all top 5. Cresswell was in all but one of the top 5. Region and MacArthur. MacArthur was negative, and he was in 3 of the top 5 lineups. You got Lallana showing up. Keeper didn't really matter. You got Lloris in 2, Gaeta in 2, and Ryan in 1. So again, like don't worry about the keeper. Just don't worry about it. But.
Yeah, that's a tough day. Sunday was a tough one for keepers.
And then our Browns, it was just like I just went on a walk, man. I had a ticket to Tilt City. Like there was MLS later in the day, and I was like, guess I'll play it. I play every slate pretty much. I was like, I guess I'll play it, and I lost money there too. I took a bath. I took a bath on Sunday. That's fine because moving out of the day, I did all right. I recovered some of the money I lost this weekend.
Nice.
Let's take a gander. Actually, I got to get it set up. You're gonna stare at our faces until I actually get it pulled up, but not a lot of scoring. What's that?
I'll smolder at the camera in the meantime.
There you go. Look good for us.
Just good.
So, did you play at all today?
I didn't do anything today.
You had big boy stuff to take care of today.
Yeah. A lot of times, it's like with leads is a good example. I don't know who to count on for them. Still, I like watching them, but I don't know who to put money on. Wait, what?
You can ask me. I'll tell you. So I didn't play the big one today.
Okay.
Which, of course, because today was the day that I actually did well. So we're gonna look at I want to say this is the $4 contest. I think I maxed. Nope, this is the showdown. I gotta actually find it. I don't think I need to pull up the top lineups for today. There was just one really interesting thing. Actually, that means I probably should pull up the top lineups today. So there was one goal. I'm just gonna get ahead to it. There was one goal today on the classic slate. Just one. It was Raul Jimenez. And do you want to guess how many of the top 5 lineups in the $4 top 5 lineups he showed up in out of 5
today? What are they?
Today.
I don't know, 30%.
He scored the only goal on the slate. One goal on the slate.
I would think 30%. I mean, I don't know. I would take him.
One. He showed up in 1 of the top 5. Just in this contest, I don't know what the big one looked like. I want to think enough people. I think he was 50% owned in the big one if what I was told earlier was correct. So
okay.
It looks like.
But 1 in the top 5, huh? Yeah, I kind of misheard you before. That's kind of surprising. I don't understand how anyone got points.
That's why you take 4 guys. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
So this one was split 3 different ways. I don't even think I pulled up the right. I don't think this is even the right one, but we'll look at it anyway. Look who's not there.
Yeah, right.
Not in that well. All 3. This is the same guy. He ran a train. 3 entries, same lineup.
Not a Jimenez fan at all, though.
Nope.
No.
But not. Oh, there he is.
Okay, all right.
Number 5, Jimenez, McNeil, Harrison, Diangana, Ailing, Tarkowski, Pope, Moreno. Not a lot to go around. So here's what I had in the actual contest I was looking at. The nuts were McNeil, Pereira, and Furlong. Dwight McNeil. Is that his name? Now I'm doubting myself on all these names now. Is it Dwight McNeil? Thank God. I'm too checking at least. But
I like this game. Yeah, we should do that.
I thought I was thinking of Dwight Clark for a second. I don't know. McNeil, Pereira, Furlong show up in 5. Pope shows up in 4. Again, of the contest I'm looking at. Jimenez showed up in the 3rd line. So it was McNeil, Pope, Pereira, Furlong, Townsend, Ailing, Harrison, Neto in the top 2 lineups that I believe were also a train in the $4. this has gone off the rails completely because we're not even looking at the one that I was talking about. But basically, McNeil and Harrison, there's your guy, by the way, for Leeds. Jack Harrison, the city loanee, the sort of American. I think he played at Georgia Tech for a second.
He's American. Yeah.
We've adopted him. We don't have enough.
He's one of our own.
Yes, of course. I think the big ones, though, were McNeil, Harrison, and Pope. What did I just say? Who was the other one that was in most of them? Pereira, the main set taker from West Brom. You don't know that he was in a ton here, was he? Okay, he's in the top 3. Okay, so he's in the top 4. But it was just set takers. It was McNeil, it was Pereira, and then Pope went off 6 saves and a clean sheet. Trumps whatever John Stone had for West Brom. So it's the same sort of thing. We don't need to spend too long on this one, but I mean, crosses. Furlong had 7. Pereira had 7. Neto had 7, and he still only put up 8 points. 17 crosses for your boy McNeil. That's how you get points.
Yeah.
That's how you get points if there's not goals. I don't like when there are goals scored on a slate. I like this. I love today. I was winning a ton of money until Raul scored, but it ain't over until you get the push notification. So.
Is he expensive or something? Why is everyone sort of staying away from him? At least in
minutes?
Yeah. Any ideas?
Expensive. I want to say he was the most expensive player on the entire slate, which
makes sense.
Yeah, he was the one guy you looked at on the entire slate and you're like, that guy's got a goal in him probably. I went over it for a while. I was making my lineups. I was like, he's got to score one today, right? And I was like, no, I'm gonna go with Podence. I wanted low ownership, and I was like, yeah, that's going to be the one. And then I might have taken down the $4 if I played because of the way I play, which we'll get into a different time because I said I wanted to aim for 30 minutes. We're looking at about 36 right now. So people probably shut us off when I started trying to mispronounce names and calling people the wrong names. All right. So this is basically what we'll do. If you're still here, cool. Thank you. This is basically what we'll do is we're just going to talk about what happened and look at lineup construction and see what stuck out. And hopefully along the way, we learn how to build lineups ourselves. That's really what we're trying to do. Tom, I probably talked over you the whole time. Did you have any other questions, any other things you're wondering, anything you want to figure out about DFS that we can talk about before I get out of here?
I got nothing for now. See, the problem is all this stuff comes up like an hour before before the game time, and now I'm asking the questions. But I'll give you for the beginner perspective a little bit in the coming weeks as we do this.
You gonna play this weekend?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. You gonna play tomorrow for the Champions League?
I'll text you. I'll get a hold of you on that one because that's all I know is Premier League. That's all I got in the tank.
That's fine. We'll get you there. We'll get you playing every slate like me. I'm sure. Your significant other won't completely hate you for it. Somehow my wife is still with me. I think it's only because I won the one time.
Yeah.
I'm in the green. She hasn't left me yet, so.
Yeah, no, you have to talk to about it, so you won't bother her. This is me and you now.
I think that's the problem, is I'm not bothering her enough. I made dinner tonight for like the first time in our entire marriage, so.
Good man.
I'm doing it. All right, kids. Tom, thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for letting me bug you into playing DFS and then letting me talk at you about it.
It was like one in one thing. It was like the same day we talked about getting into DFS. It was also, hey, you want to do a podcast too? I got nothing.
I didn't want to do it. So I asked my guys if they wanted to do it. I wanted to ask the folks in my Discord, and it was kind of crickets. So I came to you, and I knew I could count on you because I've been counting on you for 20 years.
It's getting there. Yeah, man. Oh.
All right, we don't need to do this on here. I don't.
Yeah.
I turned 30 this week.
Oh, yeah.
I'm old. You still get a one. Thanks, buddy. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Hopefully a little more organized. Hopefully I'll be somewhere with a little more natural light. I'm sorry if my video was a little long. Until then, catch you next time.
Take it easy.